Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 10 of Xaybeast Live. Here, let me go ahead and get this off the screen and replace it. Give me 1 second. There we go. Ask anything in the live chat. Crap. I work so hard to get this stuff centered and looking nice, and then it just messes up. Give me a second. Alright. How's the audio? I'm sure it sounds the same as all the other streams. This is probably going to be a very long episode because we have a lot to talk about because the Golden Globes, the Golden Globe nominations were announced. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. But first, we're going to talk about some movie news, and then we're going to talk about the Golden Globe nominations because that's going to be like the main point of this stream. Alright, so let's get into the movie news first. I'm gonna savor the flavor. I'm gonna keep you guys in the suspense. Just in case you haven't seen the Golden Globe nominations yet, don't look them up right now, because then you'll just miss out on the best part of the stream. Alright, and yes, I do have a Wonder Woman 1984 bobblehead. Don't judge me. Alright, next, okay, first bit of news. This is more just industry news. GameStop movie from Jason Blum is in development at HBO. Now, if you are not aware of what's going on with GameStop right now, humongous business scandal. Like when you actually go and read what's going on, it legitimately only sounds like something that would happen in the movies, but it's happening in real life. And Jason Blum from Blumhouse is making a movie about it. I guess you can make that into a horror film. I don't know. Next up, the Studio Ghibli theme park reveals the first look at Howl's Moving Castle replica. If you're not aware of Studio Ghibli, that is like one of, if not the best, foreign animation studio of all time. They did Spirited Away, Tale of the Princess Kaguya, Princess Mononoke, The Wind Rises, a ton of great movies. A ton of amazing animated films. Studio Ghibli is amazing, and I wasn't even aware that there was going to be a theme park, but apparently there's a theme park now, so that's pretty freaking great. Alright. We got a comment. Golden Globes is whack. Nominates some bad stuff. I honestly prefer the Oscars, to be honest. Some say the Oscars is overrated. I disagree. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you. I think the Oscars doesn't nominate... Well, first of all, the Golden Globes did nominate a couple things that I'm like, not really. But in recent years, I actually agree with the Golden Globes more than the Oscars. Because, like, here's my thing with the Oscars. They don't nominate bad stuff. They just nominate the most predictable stuff, Like, the whole thing with the Oscars is to get excited. It's like, oh, what's gonna win? And it's just everything you expect to win. Like, there's all this great, great stuff that they just don't even pay attention to. The thing I like about the Golden Globes is there's a lot of very specific categories. I like how, because with the Oscars, it's like Best Picture. Golden Globes has Best Picture, but, like, I just think it's, I don't know. As of right now, I prefer the Golden Globes because they do look at the indie circuit stuff. They look at the smaller stuff that is freaking amazing and that no one talks about. They look at that stuff. They actually care. We're going to get into a lot of the nominations. They nominated a lot of great stuff. I'm very happy with the nominations this year. With the Oscars, I don't know. Oscars 2020 was a great year compared to some recent years. Oh, yeah, the 2020 Oscars were great. They nominated everything I wanted to get nominated from 2019. Mostly everything. But my God, the 2019 Oscars, woo, that was embarrassing. That's all I'm going to say about it. Green Book should have won, though. Yeah, I don't think Green Book should have won Best Picture, but it was a great movie. They have sound editing and production design. Yeah, the Oscars do have sound editing and production design, but, 2019 kind of sucked. The year or the 2019 Oscars, because, anyway. Next bit of movie news. Marvel's Blade adds Watchmen writer, Stacey, I'm not going to pronounce her last name, because I just don't want to butcher it. The original Watchmen film is actually a really great comic book movie that no one talks about. It was directed by Zack Snyder, which I know, say what you want about him now, but back when he was doing the smaller stuff, really good director. And I still think he's a really good director. I just think, the studios are interfering with his vision a bit too much. But yeah, a new Blade film is coming out, which starring Mahershala Ali as Blade. Yes, please. That's like perfect casting. Like I love the original Blade film is just so flippin' awesome. It's just amazing, and I love it. But this Mahershala Ali as Blade, I think that's brilliant casting. And adding the writer from Watchmen. If you haven't seen Watchmen, it's a rated R comic book movie, and it's really good. Definitely check it out. Very violent. Mission Impossible 7 has resumed production. Not really much to say there. After Tom Cruise's rant, there was kind of a halt on a bunch of things. Alright, now this is a big bit of movie news that happened yesterday, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but it is very sad. Christopher Plummer passed away yesterday at age 91. He lived a long, very good life. He had an amazing career. I love Christopher Plummer. Just I guess not last year anymore. In 2019, he was in Knives Out. Freaking amazing performance. Very, very, sorely felt. He was a great actor, and he will be missed. So I do want to apologize. A lot of this movie news is relevant to, the mainstream stuff. A lot of it is talking about, Marvel and superhero and DC and a bunch of stuff, because that's just all people are talking about. But when we start talking about the Golden Globe nominations, we're going to talk about a lot of the legitimately great stuff. Alright, the Suicide Squad is fully cut and complete, apparently. Apparently that movie, wrapped filming, and it's fully edited and ready to go. So that's cool. I'm excited for the Suicide Squad, because Suicide Squad was very disappointing. Harley Quinn, was easily the best part of that movie. I love... Oh my god, why am I forgetting... No, why am I forgetting her name? Why am I forgetting her name? Oh, Margot Robbie. Right. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She was the best part of that movie, and she was also the best part of Birds of Prey. But I'm excited for the Suicide Squad. It seems like they're going in a more serious, darker route, and I like that. Kind of like what they're doing with the Batman, which I'm also so freaking excited for. Alright, next up we have Quentin Tarantino defends Joker's most shocking moment. Now, Quentin Tarantino did come out and give his thoughts on Joker. He says that as a movie, it was very, he felt that it was pretty one note, but that the talk show scene, I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen Joker, but the talk show scene on Joker, he gave his thoughts on and he defended it. And I don't have the exact quote here, but basically what he was saying was that it was great scene, Phoenix was great, and they, in that scene, said what has been needed to be said for a very long time. So that's cool. It's cool when a really big name like that defends, a film that, Tom Holland recently called the third Spider-Man film that's going to be coming out the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever. Now, I think what he means by that is the whole multiverse thing and what they're going to be doing with that. But if that's not what he's talking about something else. I'm very curious to hear what that is referencing. Movie news: Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio are filming a movie in New England right now, where I live, and Lawrence was injured yesterday. I did hear that Lawrence was injured yesterday. I knew she was filming a new movie, but I didn't know that she was doing it with DiCaprio, so that's cool. They're filming a movie called Don't Look Up. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. I know she was injured. I don't know what the injury is, but I hope she's okay, and I hope she'll recover. Jennifer Lawrence is amazing. I love her as an actress, but also as a person. She's just really chill and just kind, and that's not something you see a lot today in Hollywood. WandaVision, success. Not much to say there. I haven't watched WandaVision yet, but I am very curious. It seems right up my alley. It seems very, weird and funky, and, that's just I want to check it out. But it's really successful. People are loving it, so that's cool. The Uncharted movie is going to have the biggest action sequence that Tom Holland has ever been in. Now, if you have not played the Uncharted games, they have incredible action sequences. I mean, amazing action sequences. Better action sequences than a lot of the stuff you'd find in an Indiana Jones movie. I'm not even kidding. It's amazing what they can do with video games now, and Naughty Dog is such a great studio with that. But apparently there's going to be an action sequence in the new Uncharted live action film with Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. That is going to be the biggest action sequence Tom Holland has ever done. And if you've seen Tom Holland Spider-Man films, that's a pretty high bar. Because there were some crazy action sequences in the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, particularly Far From Home. So yeah, I'm excited for that. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is being remastered in IMAX, and it's going to be re-released, so you can see those films in IMAX. That's amazing. I love the spectacle of the Lord of the Rings films. Just everything about them is just so... Like, they're not, like, I don't go back and rewatch them too often, but I do recognize that they're perfectly crafted from a technical and story perspective. She just fell. I think she's fine. Don't know complete story. New heading, Jennifer Lawrence falls to the ground. She's hit by shattered glass while shooting explosive stunt scene on set of her film Don't Look Up. I love Tom Holland action sequences too. Alright, change the subject. Okay, so it's not a severe injury, and yeah, Tom Holland action sequences are amazing. I love the casting of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I know a lot of fans of Uncharted are like, what? But it's a young Nathan Drake. This movie is telling the story of a young Nathan Drake. And I think he's gonna be great. Like, and I'm a massive fan of the Uncharted games. Like, people are like, well, but that's because you're not a fan of the Uncharted games. You know, you're not familiar with the character, and that's why you're okay with the cast. He's like, no. The Uncharted games are, like, one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. I love the Uncharted games. I adore them. I've analyzed them on my own time. Haven't done a video on any of them yet, but I just like to sit down and analyze things just on my own. I love those games, and I know everything about the characters. And I love Tom Holland's casting as him. I think the thing with me is I think I'm just more open to things like that. Like, I'm more open to casting choices. So yeah, like, I just want to see the movie. You know, I don't want to, like, form an opinion of something before I've even seen it. Next up, yeah, Lord of the Rings being released in IMAX. Hamilton is eligible for Golden Globes, but not Oscars. That's stupid. There's my opinion on that. My God. Stop texting me. Oh, wait. 1 second. Oh, God. Okay, it's a good thing she's not watching the stream. Oh, crap. Alright. Back into it. Right. It's stupid to me. Hamilton needs to be eligible for Oscars. That is a movie, in my opinion. I don't care what you say. I don't care. There we go. And we'll get into that when we start talking about the Golden Globe nominations. Hamilton did get a lot of recognition. I'm very happy about that. Alright. I didn't love Far From Home. It was decent, though it could have been better. Something I don't usually say, but the action was my favorite part of the movie. The action sequences in Far From Home were really great. I really enjoyed Far From Home. I love Tom Holland as an actor. I know a lot of people are mixed on Zendaya as MJ. I love it. Like, it just seems like the most, like, accurate thing to teenagers today. And I just love Zendaya as an actress anyway. So yeah, and I love their dynamic, and I like that she's taller than him. Because I'm not a tall guy, you know? And I just like that MJ is taller than Peter in this new universe. I don't know, just something about that. Like, I'm just like, I get you, man. Alright. Oh, okay, so after 13 years since the original Cloverfield... After 13 years since the original fantastic Cloverfield, we are finally getting an official sequel. Now, yes, we did get 10 Cloverfield Lane, but that was not an official sequel. I hesitate to even call it an unofficial sequel. It's just it's really the only similarity is the title, that's it. But apparently we're getting like a full-fledged official sequel to Cloverfield, which I'm very excited for. Because the original Cloverfield is one of my favorite monster disaster films of all time. Really great characters, really great dialogue and character dynamics in that film. So I'm really, really happy that we're getting an official sequel to it. Because the way Cloverfield ended, I'm like, Rob and Beth, what happened with them? I need to know, Great ending, nevertheless. If we never got a sequel, I'd still be satisfied. Because I'm just a dark, screwed up human being. I need to see her new movie. Which new movie? Zendaya? Oh, yeah! Malcolm and Marie. Which, by the way, John David Washington is also in that with her, and he was in Tenet. Did you hate the character of Nier in Death Note? Because I did. I didn't hate Nier. I just think it was very out of left field. And if you haven't seen Death Note, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a choice they make with the character of L in the final few episodes of that show. I didn't hate it. I thought it fit very well. It was very shocking and very unexpected, and I thought it worked very well, and I do think they justified it. But the character of Nier, as a person, yeah, I don't like him. But, that's a sign of a well-written character. But, I just think, a few more episodes. Maybe 2 or 3 more episodes to flesh him out a little bit more. I think it would have been good. And that character just in no way lived up to L. Just didn't. L's actually my favorite character in Death Note. The anime, not the live-action film. Screw the live-action film, I swear to God. I never want to have to watch that movie again, though I probably will because I reviewed the anime and people are like, now you gotta review the live-action movie, so whatever. But L was my favorite character. Just brilliant writing. It's but I love the show as a whole. I gave it an A+. I think the show overcame the kind of crappy stuff with Nier, and it wasn't terrible. If Nier had been in the show from the beginning, I wouldn't have disliked that choice so much. But he didn't show up until the final few episodes, and I was like, what's this? He doesn't at all live up to L. What are you doing here? The writing for his character was good. I just think there should have been a lot more development. Have you seen the theories that if Light never got the Death Note, he would be the successor to L? I have seen those theories, and I agree with those theories. If you haven't seen the show, that kind of sort of comes to fruition a little bit. Yeah, I do believe if Light had never found the Death Note, he also would have been the successor to L, but he did find the Death Note, and he did end up being kind of a successor, which I thought was really cool. Death Note is such a great show. Seriously, if you've seen the live-action film, and, story, nah, not really. I don't think I'll watch the show either. The show is nothing like the live-action film. The live-action film is this watered-down, action-y, poorly written mess. Where the show is much more thriller and very meticulous. It felt like something Aaron Sorkin would have written. It's that great. Best movie to watch on a plane? Best movie to watch on a plane. Well, I guess that depends. For me, non-stop, because I just like scaring the crap out of myself. Alright, next up we have, oh right, I was talking about how an official sequel to Cloverfield is happening. That's great. I'm really excited to see what happened afterwards. I really hope it's good. Not too big movie news here, but since I have a very personal affinity for this movie, I want to talk about it. The 2014 Godzilla film is being released on 4K physical media, which is 4K, yeah, which is great. I love the 2014 Godzilla film. Say what you want about Kong Skull Island and Godzilla King of the Monsters, but the 2014 Godzilla film with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson, I love it. I love that movie. I know a lot of the complaints are there wasn't enough Godzilla. But it's all about the build-up. And then when you actually do see him, it's yes! It's just this amazing reveal. It paid off for me, is what I'm saying. For me, it's Airplane, because I wouldn't be upset if I crashed. Shut up, dude! Shut up! I don't care that you don't like Airplane. Alright, now we're getting into the Golden Globes. We're going to talk about the Golden Globe nominations. The teaser was the best part of the movie. Which movie? The 2014 Godzilla or Death Note? All right, let's get into the nominations here. And yes, I wrote down all of the categories. There's 25 categories of the Golden Globe, so we're doing it. All right, first category, foreign language film. The films that have been nominated for best foreign language film, we have Minari, which stars Steven Yeun, who was in The Walking Dead as Glenn, one of the best characters ever. I love Glenn so much, and I love him as an actor. So we have Minari. The Curse of La Llorona. I don't really know what's up with that, because that movie was kind of bad. Maybe it's just because they didn't have a lot of options. We have The Life Ahead. Now, keep in mind, I haven't heard of a lot of these movies, and I haven't seen a lot of these movies. I will let you know the ones that I've seen and the ones that I've heard. Haven't seen or heard of The Life Ahead. Haven't seen or heard of The Two of Us, which was also nominated, and Another Round was also nominated, which I haven't seen or heard, because indie cinema really dominated this year. Alright, nominations for Best Drama Motion Picture. We have Mank. Yeah. I watched Mank. It's weird because I'm supposed to love that movie, but I don't. I just think it's a really, really good movie. Very well directed and very well written, but I don't think it's like this amazing masterpiece, that people are building it up to be. Surprise Run wasn't nominated. Oh, yeah, I was thinking that before this stream when I was writing these down. When I was done with all the categories, I was like, wait, what was Run nominated for anything? And I flipped back and looked through everything. I'm talking everything, all these categories. Nothing. It wasn't nominated for anything. Now, Sarah Paulson, who played the mother in Run, was nominated for her performance in the Netflix show Ratched, which she deserves. Her performance in that show was phenomenal. But, her performance in Run is, equally great. So why don't you just nominate her for both things and then just decide which one is better, Yeah. Yeah, Run was amazing. If you haven't seen Run, it's on Hulu right now. Watch it. It's amazing. One of my favorite... it is my favorite thriller of the year. Of 2020, because it's 2021 now, so I gotta specify. So yeah, Mank was nominated for Best Drama Motion Picture. We also have Promising Young Woman, The Father, The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Nomadland. Also, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising wasn't nominated for Best Animation, even though it's not animated, but still. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the lack of appreciation for anime in the US is really disheartening. And then whenever we get an American adaptation like Death Note or Dragon Ball Evolution, it always sucks. They always suck. It's just, I don't get it. I don't, because so much American standalone stuff is inspired by anime, and they never want to frickin' admit it. Just admit it. Admit it. Ah! Alright. Nominations for musical or comedy motion picture, which I don't know why they include musical and comedy in the same category, because a lot of musicals aren't comedies, Anyway, there was actually a movie called Music that was nominated. The Prom was nominated, which I find weird, because isn't that a show? I don't know. Hamilton! Hamilton was nominated. Yes, please. Yes, I love Hamilton. I love that they're giving recognition to Hamilton. Hamilton was amazing. Alright, Palm Springs, I never saw it. And then Borat Subsequent Movie Film. I love that title. Borat Subsequent Movie Film. Alright. Nominations for actor in a drama film. We have Anthony Hopkins for The Father. We have Riz Ahmed in Sound of Metal. We're going to talk about Sound of Metal soon. I just watched that yesterday. I don't want to spoil anything for you. I don't want to spoil my review for you, because I plan on filming my review for that movie right after I end this stream. But let's just say I'm very, very happy that Riz Ahmed was nominated. Why was Hamilton nominated? Isn't it old? No, Hamilton came out in... Hamilton had its debut showing in 2015, but it was never a movie until this year, until 2020. Because they did a filmed version of it and then put it on Disney Plus. So that was the first film version of Hamilton. Technically, the stage play, the musical itself, aired on Broadway in 2015. But it wasn't an official film production until 2020, so I think that's why they nominated it. But yeah, Very happy Riz Ahmed was nominated for Sound of Metal. I've been rooting for him ever since Nightcrawler. Although his performance in Venom wasn't too good. All right. We have Chadwick Boseman. Now this is really powerful to me. Chadwick Boseman was nominated for Best Actor for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which I have not seen that movie yet, but I really want to. I've heard his performance was amazing, and I love that they're giving him the recognition, even though he's not with us anymore. I think that's really powerful. But it's also not just a thing where they're like, we have to nominate him because guilt. That would just be so dirty, you know? Like, if they said, we just nominated him because, he died. I would be like, what did you just say? Respect that man. Respect his career. He gave an amazing performance. It doesn't matter. Nominate him. That's the whole point. It's like a memoriam for him, even though he's not with us anymore, you know? Chadwick Boseman has the most nominations this year. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman got nominated for a lot of stuff. And rightfully so. Gary Oldman was nominated for Mank. I feel like that's another obligation thing. Gary Oldman was great in Mank, but like, this is when the Golden Globes get kind of too Oscar-y, because the Oscars are so predictable. There's never any surprises. The Golden Globes, there's more surprises. But this was one of the more predictable ones. Not saying that Gary Oldman was bad. He was great, but it almost feels like a Meryl Streep situation. Every time Meryl Streep is in a movie, almost every time she gets nominated. It's crazy. It sucks he died at the peak of his career. Yeah, it really does. I mean, what are the odds of that, man, Tahar Rahim was nominated for the Mauritanian? I don't know what that is, but, I wrote down all the nominees. Best Director of a Motion Picture, we have Regina King for One Night in Miami. That is also on Amazon. I'm going to be watching that soon. I have a lot of indie cinema to catch up on and review. We also have David Fincher for Mank. Now, even though I didn't love Mank, it was perfectly directed. Like, here's the thing with Fincher films. Even if I watch even the Fincher films, and really there's only one, even the Fincher film that I don't love, it's perfectly directed, It just may be some aspects of the story that didn't quite work for me. But even if I don't love it, it's perfectly directed from a tonal standpoint. So I completely agree with him being nominated for director for Mank. David Fincher is an amazing director. He can do no wrong. Nomadland thoughts. I have not seen Nomadland yet either. I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of stuff to catch up on. Chloe Zhao was nominated for Nomadland for Best Director. That's amazing. I love that we're getting a lot more female directing nominations, because that's something we've needed for a long time. Emerald Fennell was nominated for Promising Young Woman, and keep in mind this is the Director of a Motion Picture category. Aaron Sorkin finally directed a movie. Aaron Sorkin for The Trial of the Chicago 7, which I also need to watch. My god, there's so many things that I need to watch. Alright, next up we have Actress in a Musical or Comedy. Anya Taylor-Joy for Emma. Yeah, that's my girl. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Power to her. She's also my celebrity crush, but that doesn't matter. She's a legitimately great actor. I love her. The first film I saw her in was Split, and then ever since then I've made it a point to watch literally every single thing she's been in. Next up we have Michelle Pfeiffer for French Exit. I have no idea what that is, but Michelle Pfeiffer is great. We have Kate Hudson for Music, the film Music. The movie is literally called Music. We have Rosamund Pike for I Care a Lot. I have no idea what I Care a Lot is, but Rosamund Pike is a phenomenal actress. Watch Gone Girl if you haven't yet. Another amazing Fincher film. And then Maria Bakalova, I think is how you pronounce her name. She was nominated for Borat, subsequent movie film. I'm not going to say the full title every time. I'm just going to refer to it as Borat. For drama TV series, we have The Mandalorian. Still haven't seen The Mandalorian. Sue me. We have Ratched. Yeah. Ozark, which I still haven't seen. Lovecraft Country and The Crown. I haven't seen Lovecraft Country, The Crown, Ozark, Ratched, or The Mandalorian. I haven't seen any of these. I've seen a bit of some of them. And Jason Bateman is in Ozark, which he also was nominated in another category in here, and we're going to talk about him. I love Jason Bateman so much. Ever since Arrested Development, that guy is just he's hilarious. I love him. Alright. For screenplay, we have Mank, which I will agree with. Mank was a very well written film. Really, my main problem with Mank was the pacing, and that's about it, honestly. We have Promising Young Woman, which I still need to see. The Father, The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Nomadland. Nomadland got a lot of recognition. Have you seen WandaVision? No, I have not seen WandaVision, but I really, really want to check out WandaVision. It seems like right up my alley. Just a really weird, different Marvel thing. It's like the perfect start to Phase 4. For supporting actor, we have Sacha Baron Cohen in Trial of the Chicago 7. We have Leslie Odom Jr., who is also in Hamilton, but he was nominated for One Night in Miami, which I also need to watch. Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah. Still haven't seen that. I actually don't know what that is. We have Bill Murray for On the Rocks. Now, this next and final nomination for supporting actor doesn't make any sense to me. Jared Leto for The Little Things. Now, if you haven't seen The Little Things, essentially The Little Things is the cheap, watered-down, no-substance version of Seven or Zodiac. And Jared Leto's performance was hilariously comical. Terrible. So I don't know why they nominated him. Maybe for the same reason they nominated Phoenix as Joker, I guess. But his performance as Joker was good. Like, it was great. Jared Leto as this dude was, ugh. At least for me. You know, film is subjective. You can like it if you like it. Okay. Now we have actor in a musical or comedy. 7 ripoff. Yeah, complete ripoff. Now we have actor in musical or comedy. Crap, I lost my spot. Oh no. Alright, we have James Corden for The Prom. How about no? We have Sacha Baron Cohen for Borat. We have Dev Patel for The Personal History of David Copperfield. Lin-Manuel Miranda for Hamilton. Heck yeah, baby. We have Andy Samberg for Palm Springs. I've heard Palm Springs was great. I still have to see it. For supporting actress, we have Amanda Seyfried for Mank. She was great in that film. We have Olivia Colman for The Father. We have Helena Zengel for News of the World, which I still need to see News of the World. That's still in theaters right now. I need to see that. In fact, I'm going to see if I can get my parents to have me see it today. I'm just in the mood for a great Western. And News of the World, it's at like 87 something on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's like apparently it's supposed to be like a Western version of The Last of Us. Like, there's no zombies or anything, but like it's about, you know, this older, jaded guy who has to escort a young girl and, you know, learns to have sort of a father-daughter connection. He has to escort her across the land. You know, it's like, what if Last of Us was a Western and there were no zombies, basically? And that intrigues me. I'm just in the mood for a really good, poignant drama, you know? We'll talk about, I kind of got that with Sound of Metal, but I'll elaborate on that when I actually do my review for it. Maybe you should review a series of David Fincher's movies. I do really want to review all of David Fincher's movies. He's a great director. You know, even his Alien movie, Alien 3, I know a lot of people hate that film because of how it opens and the 2 characters that it killed off from Aliens, but I like Alien 3. Like, I like the tone Fincher was going for. It seemed like he was operating at very low capacity, though, because the studio was just interfering too much, but I think he did the best with what he had. We'll put it that way. Last of Us is getting a TV show. Yes, I talked about that on the previous episode. Last of Us is getting a show with HBO. Yes, please! And apparently Neil Druckmann is set to write. Yes! Yes! I'm so excited for that, because I've always wanted to see The Last of Us in a cinematic form, and the fact that it's getting a show, and the fact that it's by HBO, who brought us Chernobyl, and say what you want about the final season of Game of Thrones, but overall as a show, amazing show. We have Game of Thrones, Chernobyl, Euphoria. Like, HBO is knocking it out of the park. People don't talk about them enough. I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do with Last of Us. Oh my god. Now we have, Glenn Close. This is still the supporting actress category. We have Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy. We have Jodie Foster for The Mauritanian. Jodie Foster was in that. I had no idea. I love Jodie Foster, but I have no idea what that is either. Alright, this category is actress in a drama motion picture. Last of Us getting a TV show. Logan, the first step of a Last of Us movie. Yeah, Logan was pretty much a Last of Us movie. It's like, what if the Last of Us... Like, what if Joel was Wolverine? Logan. There you go. Logan was such a good movie, my goodness. People don't talk about Logan enough. That's truly, like, one of the best comic book films ever made. And that, it's really because it doesn't quite feel like a comic book movie, you know? And you'll notice a lot of the best comic book movies of all time don't quite feel like your stereotypical comic book movie. Actress in a drama motion picture, we have Andra Day for the United States versus Billie Holiday. I have no idea what that is. We have Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. If you haven't seen Pieces of a Woman, my goodness, you need to watch it. You have to watch Pieces of a Woman. Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. I really need to see Promising Young Woman. I've heard the ending is very divisive, which makes me think I'm gonna love it. Like, I don't know. It was kind of the same with The Last of Us Part 2. When I heard so much hate being thrown at it, and just the way it plays out in the ending, I was like, I'm gonna love that game, aren't I? Yeah, because I have a lot of very unpopular opinions, and I did end up loving The Last of Us Part 2, so there is that. Viola Davis was nominated for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Still haven't seen that film yet, but it is on Netflix, and I need to see it. We have Frances McDormand for Nomadland. Lots of recognition for Nomadland. I still need to see it. The second best comic book movie. Sorry. The second best comic book movie. What's the best What is your best comic book movie? I don't know if I could choose. There actually is some really good. Logan was snubbed from Oscar and Golden. Yeah, Logan was like, nominate Hugh Jackman, please. Please. They nominated Endgame for VFX, but like, they didn't nominate Downey Jr. Now, who cares if he's wearing a CG suit? His performance is amazing. And it's same with Hugh Jackman and Logan. They should have nominated the cinematography, the writing, the freaking production design, directing, like, just, Logan was an amazing film. Now we have actress in a drama series. We have Olivia Colman for The Crown. We have Jodie Comer for Killing Eve. We have Emma Corrin for The Crown. So we have two actresses competing for that Crown Award. And then we have Laura Linney in Ozark. And then Sarah Paulson in Ratched. Yeah, baby. Alright, now for original score, we have Tenet, The Midnight Sky, Mank, Soul, and News of the World. Which apparently, James Newton Howard did the score for News of the World. That just makes me want to see it more. Like, I already really want to see it. I'm really freaking excited to see it. But, like, the fact... I love James Newton Howard. He's composed some of my favorite movie scores of all time. Listen to the Unbreakable score if you haven't. And say what you want about The Village, but the score for that film is freaking amazing. A lot of history movies this year. Time periods. Yeah, there were a lot of period pieces this year. You're right. Alright, yeah. Alright, now, next category is best musical or comedy series. We have Emily in Paris, Schitt's Creek. I love Schitt's Creek. Yes, I've been hiding something from you guys. I have been watching Schitt's Creek. I love it. It's hilarious. Dan Levy is a comedic genius. Where's the category for stunts and choreography? Tenet should have won that. Yeah, that's the thing with the Golden Globes. I don't think they have a stunts and choreography category. So yeah, that's the one thing that the Oscars has over the Golden Globes. But I do agree, Tenet needs to be recognized for that. Ted Lasso for musical and comedy series, The Flight Attendant, and The Great. My parents are currently watching The Flight Attendant, and they say it's good. So I want to check it out. Nominations for Best Miniseries or TV Film. We have Small Axe, The Queen's Gambit. Yes! Fine. This is the only thing The Queen's Gambit was nominated for. Wait, was it? No, I think it was nominated for something else. I think Anya Taylor-Joy got nominated for Best Actress for a miniseries or whatever. But yeah, recognition for Queen's Gambit, please. We have Unorthodox, Normal People, and The Undoing. Alright, final page here. Final page has 1, 2, 3 categories. So only 3 more categories. Let's get into it. For actor in a drama TV series, we have Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. Yes! Yes! Finally some recognition for Better Call Saul. Why wasn't it nominated for Best Drama Series? The most recent season of Better Call Saul, oh my god. Like, why wasn't it nominated? I legitimately want to know. Jason Bateman for Ozark. I love Jason Bateman ever since Arrested Development, and then since then he's just had so many great things. Nick Wilde in Zootopia. I mean, I know that was a voice acting thing, but he's just such a great actor. Like, I just love Jason Bateman so much. And I still need to see Ozark. If you've seen Ozark, let me know if it's good. We have Matthew Rhys for Perry Mason. Josh O'Connor for The Crown. Al Pacino for Hunters. I had no idea Al Pacino was in Hunters. I'm going to have to watch it. Better Call Saul been snubbed since its series premiere. Yeah, why are they snubbing Better Call Saul? Like, they were all over Breaking Bad. So don't tell me that they're not nominating it because, it's a dark and, violent, disturbing show. Because Breaking Bad got a crap ton of awards. Like, every year, every single season got, like, a bunch of awards. Why isn't Better Call Saul getting the same recognition? It's, like, just as good. Alright, now we have Best Animated Feature Film. We have Wolfwalkers, Onward, Soul, Crude's A New Age, and Over the Moon. I haven't seen Over the Moon, Crude's A New Age, or Wolfwalkers. I've seen Onward and Soul. Very good movies. I feel like it's going to come down to Onward and Soul. One of those is going to win, and it's probably going to be Soul. Yeah, I mean, I love Soul, don't get me wrong, but, like, Alright, final category. We have actress in a musical or comedy TV series. We have Jane Levy for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. We have Kaylee Cuoco for The Flight Attendant. Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek. Yeah, she's amazing in that show. Ellie Fanning for The Great, and Lily Collins for Emily in Paris. There we go. Those are all the those are all the Golden Globe nominations. I think there were some other categories that I didn't include because I wanted to include like the major ones. But yeah. So now that means we're into the I expected that to take up a lot more time. I mean, it's been 45 minutes, but still. Now we are into the official we are into the official Q&A segment of the stream. So ask me anything. Now remember, I am a movie-based channel, and I love answering questions about movies and the film industry. But you guys can ask personal things. Like, I'm completely fine with that. One of my New Year's resolutions was to be so... And, normally I hate New Year's resolutions. Like, I'm very much like that, the girl in Psycho at the beginning of Psycho. That's like, resolutions are like headaches. You forget about them as soon as they stop hurting. I'm like, I completely agree. But I did have a New Year's resolution this year, and it was just to be extremely open, extremely open and honest and things like that. So you guys can ask me, like, don't be afraid to ask me, a personal question, like, hey, like, what's, I don't know. I mean, I can't really give you an example, I don't want to spoil anything, but, like, yeah. So while you guys are getting in your questions, I'm gonna get my, my beverage, because my throat is suffering right now, very badly. Here I am. And yes, in classic talk show fashion, I am drinking coffee. Don't judge me. Alright, let me get closer for this Q&A. No questions, only 2 people watching, but, you work with what you got. Please don't make this be one of those streams where I just sit here in complete silence, because that's just so boring to watch. Please don't make this be one of those streams. Seriously, anything. Ask anything. Anything that you're curious about, just ask. I don't care. No? Not gonna ask anything? See, I thought the Golden Globe stuff was going to take up a lot more time, but it didn't. So now I'm trying to think of things to talk about while you guys get your questions in, because I don't want this to be a very bad episode, you know? I want this to be a good episode. What is there to talk about? Maybe I should have written down more movie news. Guess not. So those two people who are watching right now, enjoy me sitting here in complete and utter silence. Is it just me or is this hilarious? My goodness. Alright, here we go. Have you seen... Thank you so much, Nostalgic. You are a savior. Alright, we have you seen Black Klansman? No, I have not seen Black Klansman, but I really want to. I'm long overdue for a review of that film. And 1917. Yes, I have seen 1917. I need to get the 4K for this. Right now I just have the Blu-ray, but I love 1917. I actually have a review for it on my channel right now if you want to know more thoughts on it. Yeah. I guess I could talk about some things that I plan on reviewing to kind of keep the stream going. So I recently reviewed Death Note, the anime, and I've seen a lot of anime. There are a lot of anime that I've watched and that I really, really, really want to review. Like Erased, Psyche K, which is just hilarious. I love that show. Blood of Zeus, which is a newer anime, and some other ones that Nostalgic I think you're only aware of that I watch. Blah blah blah. 1917, the flare scene is amazing. Yeah, the flare scene in 1917 is incredible. My goodness. Like, Roger Deakins' cinematography in 1917 is just incredible. Like, yeah, he's my favorite cinematographer. He got an Oscar for Blade Runner 2049, and rightfully so. That movie is a visual pleasure for the eyes. I wanted to say something else, but anyway. And the ending is also amazing. Yeah, the ending of 1917 is amazing. When he's walking towards that tree and that beautiful violin score comes in, it's just incredible. Like, incredible. Favorite anime character? Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know. I've seen so many great animes. L is definitely up there. And then, I can't decide. Don't quote me in saying L is my favorite anime character, but there's a lot of great anime characters. When I turn 16, I'm gonna be able to talk about some other animes, but I gotta keep it in right now. Alright, we have... Mine's probably Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, very good character. I mean, not Vegeta. I said Vegeta. Vegeta. I'm sorry. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, great character. I love it. So yeah, I love that I'm getting into anime, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I did used to be that kid who was like, anime, ew. What? This Japanese stuff? I don't know why I was ever like that. And then 2020 happened, and I was quarantined, and so I spent a lot more time on Netflix, and Netflix has a huge anime selection, so I was like, you know what, I'll give some a try. And I just got hooked. I binged so many anime, and it's just amazing. Like, I've just been opened up to this whole new amazing world of great stories and amazing characters that are just superior to so many things that America's making right now. Did you want Light to win at the end? I wanted him to win so bad. I think it would have been really great if Light won. Like, I would have liked that as an ending, but I still love the ending they went with. You know? Because in the early episode... Okay, I'm sorry. If anyone's watching this right now who hasn't seen the Death Note anime, I'm about to... mega spoilers. In an early episode of the show, Ryuk... I'm I'm not gonna bother rolling the R because I mess up sometimes. Sometimes it sounds good, Ryuk, but like I'm not gonna bother doing it every time. So I'm just gonna say Ryuk. In an early episode of Death Note, Ryuk prophesized that when Light eventually dies, Ryuk would have to be the one to write his name in the Death Note. And I like that they followed through with that. You know, because to everyone else, it looks like Light just died of the gunshot wounds. But Ryuk is the one who wrote his name down. So it leaves it kind of ambiguous. Like, could Light have survived? And if he had survived, would he have retaken the reins as Kira and killed all those people? You know, I find it great to think about that. But I think the ending that we got was amazing. I love the final episode of Death Note. It's a perfect finale. Have you seen the new one-shot chapter of Death Note? I have not seen the new one-shot chapter of Death Note. I didn't even know that existed. It has a certain former president. Certain former president, huh? Why? Why in Death Note? Please tell me someone writes his name down. Anyway, next question. There's also the theory that Light becomes a Shinigami. Whoa! I haven't heard that theory. I love that theory. That's a great theory. My God. Wasn't there a sequel? There's tons of Death Note media. And I'm pretty sure there was a sequel show, wasn't there? I don't know, though. I feel like that's one of those things where it's like milking a franchise. Like, I think Death Note, singularly, the original 37 episode anime, is perfect the way it is. But, you know, the only other Death Note thing I've seen is the live action movie, which sucked. Ugh. I do love the theory that Light becomes a Shinigami. Was it ever specified? Oh, that would have been a cool rule to write down, because you know the Death Note has a bunch of rules. What if one of the rules is, the person who uses the Death Note will become a Shinigami after they die? That would make sense, because all the Shinigami have Death Notes. So, to make that make sense, you could say that all those Shinigami were people who used the Death Note when they were humans, and that Death Note stuck with them when they became Shinigami, and that's why they have the Death Note. Whoa, that's amazing! I'm gonna go on Wattpad and write Death Note fanfiction. When Light got his memory back, I thought he got the Shinigami eyes. Do you think he should have? I don't know. I like that we weren't ever aware of Light's, original, like, full, lifespan, because when you have the Shinigami eyes, you can see his full lifespan, which means, Misa Amane, whatever you want to call her, she had the Shinigami eyes, so she could see Light's lifespan. I just think that's cool that she withheld that information. But as far as Light, I don't think he should have. I think he was smart to not do that, because he found so many other ways to figure out people's names and things like that, to write it down. Who's the most annoying character besides Nier? The most annoying character? Whoever the guy at the business, I don't remember the name. The selfish, self-indulgent business guy who took over the reins of Kira for a bit. I hated him. He was just such an annoying character. A lot of people who maybe don't understand anime like I do would probably say Misa, which I would understand, but like out of all the characters in Death Note, I feel like Misa is the most anime character, and I'm talking like stereotypes here. She's like the most stereotypical anime character in that show, but like, that's okay with people who like anime, because they like anime in large part, you know, because of a lot of those aspects. So I loved her character. Yasuba? Yeah, Yasuba, I can't pronounce his name. Yes, him. He was really annoying. But my God, let's talk about Light getting his memories back. He is a genius. Light Yagami is a freaking amazing, intelligent genius. He actually loses his memories. Like, I was thinking, did he actually give his memories away? I feel like he's too smart for that. I feel like he's just gonna pretend, because that would be smart. But even smarter, no. He actually did give up his memories. He legitimately didn't remember anything. And he did it on the slim faith that it was going to... that he was going to get them back. Everything played out exactly how he thought it would. He actually gave up his memories, and then he actually got him back. And I love... oh my god, I love that scene where he gets him back, and then you hear in his head, I won. That gave me chill, man. Death Note is so good. This is one of the reasons I'm so thankful that I've gotten into anime, because there's so many great shows, and it makes for such great discussion. Because something that's very common in anime is very deep and compelling characters and themes that you just don't see a lot, in a lot of mainstream American productions. Yasuba, yeah. It was great seeing Matsuda to be the one-shoot Kira. We never learned L's real name. Right, we also never learned L's real name, which I love. I just love that. I mean, that was a weird laugh. I am so sorry. I just embarrassed myself. It was a very forced laugh. I love that you never learned L's real name. It just makes him such a much more of an intriguing character to me. And I love his voice actor, in both the sub and the dub. The Death Note English dub is one of the best English dubs of all time, no question. Also, did Misa die? Did Misa die? I mean, she never died on screen, but I guess it would make sense if she died, right? Because if the Shinigami has to be the one to write your name down when your time comes, then what, I will say, though, in the finale, when Light was running with all those wounds and holding the gunshot wounds and you heard in his head, I actually almost cried. Because I was like, dude, you threw your life away, man. Like, he's talking about, like someone. I need to see someone. Misa, and blah, blah, blah. His father died because of him and everything. Like, he just lost everything. So, in a way, I kind of feel bad for the guy. Because, like, the power that the Death Note had on him, like, just how obsessed he became with it. It was just... man. I'm gonna say that Misa died. That's just in my personal headcanon. Maybe they'll be Shinigami together, Because end credit scene was ambiguous. We never saw her body. Right, yeah, we never did. Have you seen the end credit of the final episode? Yes, I did see the end credits of the final episode. I think I did. I think Kira died in the finale, but Light died in the first episode. See, I love things like that. It's almost like the Breaking Bad situation where Walter White died, like at some point in the first or second season, and then Heisenberg was born, So I like that. I would also say Light died in the first episode, and then Kira was born, and then Kira died in the final episode. I just love those types of discussions. It's so great. I could talk about Death Note for hours. And there's so many other anime that I could talk about for hours, but I'm not going to because I plan on reviewing all of them. So yeah. Also, what is up with Netflix jail, by the way? Like, all these Netflix original animes that are so great are, new seasons of them are being aired in Japan, and they're on Japanese Netflix, but you need a VPN for that. So, and plus there's no English subtitles. So, it kind of sucks. So I have to resort to anime sites to be able to watch the English subs, to be able to watch the new episodes in English sub. Why not just air it American Netflix, just air it weekly. Some of your best content is some of your Netflix original animes. Air it weekly, that's the whole point of anime. I love the experience of binging a show, but I love the idea of having a new episode a week, and now using the anime sites that I'm able to watch an episode a week and then have a full week until the next episode to digest and analyze it. That's just such a great experience, and talking about it with people and stuff. It was amazing to see how Light died in the middle of his staircase at the bottom or top. Yes, yes, it was. It's such a great show. If you were to make a Death Note movie, who would you cast and direct? Ooh. Well, I definitely wouldn't cast who they cast as Light in the American adaptation. I'm gonna stop crapping on that adaptation. I've crapped on it enough. I don't know. Who would be Kira? I feel like a young Robert Pattinson, like Harry Potter and the Goblet of, like Cedric Diggory Robert Pattinson. I think he would have been really cool as Kira. I think he could really bring out that like evil persona. But if not him, crap, all the actors I'm thinking of are too old now. Like Dylan O'Brien, you know, he's in his 20s, but like would have been better when he was younger, you know. But who would direct? Fincher. I think Fincher. I mean, his direction of Gone Girl, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, especially. Imagine if Fincher directed a Death Note film. My God. I mean, that would be amazing. That's my dream. Ugh, that would be amazing. I think Denis Villeneuve would do great because Prisoners. Oh, yeah, Denis Villeneuve as well would also make a great Death Note film. Prisoners and Sicario, both very dark and gritty films. I think he could bring a lot to Death Note. I will say the one thing that I actually loved about the live action Death Note were a lot of the visuals. I think Andrew Wingard, or Adam Wingard, as a visionary, I think he's cool. There's some cool Dutch angles and stuff, but just that movie, the writing was so bad, and the story was they just completely butchered it, and made it this stupid, cringy YA thing. Like, that's not what Death Note is. Anyway. Hulu airs its anime weekly. Yes, that's one of the great things about Hulu. You can watch anime weekly. And oh my God, the new season of Attack on Titan, bro, I'm losing my mind. Timothy Chalamet? Oh yeah, Timothy Chalamet would be great as Light. Yeah, I could see that. I think Robert Pattinson would make a great L. Robert Pattinson would also make a great L. There's just so many great actors. See, Robert Pattinson is one of those actors, I feel like he could play anyone. He's basically played like every type of character at this point. But I think he'd be good as Light or L. Which, by the way, Light and L, like I know L isn't L's real name. But like L, you know, his alias is L, and then Light's name starts with an L. Now that might be a bit of a stretch. It might be a bit of a stretch, but I like to think about things like that. Also, the fact that Light's name is literally Light, and he's going down the path of Kira, which is very dark. Like, you know, I just love analyzing and things like that. It's amazing. But yeah, Robert Pattinson would make a great L. I love anyone who has seen the anime Death Note and loved it has sat like L at one point. Like they just have. Like if you're a fan of Death Note, you have to do that sit posture that he does. It's just so great. I love L. He's just such an amazing character, so well written. That's some of the best anime ever made, man. That's like perfect anime right there. Worst part of Death Note? The worst part of Death Note. Whoever not Nier, but Nier's brother. The blonde guy. I'd say he was probably the worst part of the show. I'm telling you, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood has the two best opening of any anime. The OPs of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood are great. I know I could say so much more about it. Yeah. That's the other thing, too, like, anime intros. Like, look at American television intros, with a few exceptions. You know, there's some great American television intros and themes and stuff. But, like, anime intros, just so many great songs and Here. Now, this is not an anime OP, but this is a song. I think Misa's first appearance was very terrible. I'm trying to think of Misa's first appearance in Death Note. Right. That was also the time you got introduced to Rem, which I also love Rem as a character. Like, Ryuk and Rem are, like, amazing characters. Like, the fact that I actually cared about the Shinigami, it's just a sign of great writing. I think Misa's character could have been a little deeper, I guess, but I did love the fact that, like, I love that they justified why she's such a fan of Kira, you know? And I loved the subtle hints at Rem, learning to love Kira, you know, not, like, romantically, but just, like, as, a friendship, like, loving her, and then Rem's eventual sacrifice, oh my god! It was so sad, and that story, that she told of the older Shinigami, who died because he fell in love with a human, that was heartbreaking. Like, I was actually like, oh, like, there's just so much deep and poignant drama in Death Note. The Death Note second opening is terrible. Here's the thing with Death Note. When it got to the second opening, I started skipping. Normally, I don't skip anime OPs, because a lot of them are so great. The original Death Note OP is great. I love it. I love that song. L's theme, by the way. Now, this is not the OP to Death Note, but this is my favorite track from the Death Note anime soundtrack. L's theme is great, and I'm about to play it. Here. It's so great. Let's get to the... That's one of the best anime soundtracks ever. I love it. Also, the deleted scenes of L's funeral was so great. Oh yeah, I haven't watched the deleted scenes, but I know they exist. Why did they delete them? That's what I want to know. I swear though, when L died, I see. It seems like it would be very expected. Like, it seems like you should expect that L would die. But I just didn't. Like, I felt like... But that's, like, the most... Like, it's not... I'll say this. Regardless of expectation, I was still shocked when it happened. Like, I was sitting there dreading something. I was like, L's not gonna die. Like, no. And then, that scene where it just went completely silent, L's eyes widened and you heard his heartbeat, I was like, no. And then he dies, and I'm like... Oh! Like, it was just so... But it's so great, though. That's one of the most shocking moments ever, though. But I love it so much. Imagine L faked his death to test Light. Oh, God. See, I feel like if they had gone with that in the show, it would have worked. But, like, if they make, like, a sequel show where L comes back or something, that would just be stupid. I do think L... The place in the show... I mean, like... The placement of L's death in the show, I think he died at, like, the perfect, point in the show. You know, like, at that point in the show, I think it was... that was a good choice. Like, it was... Like, I love L, don't get me wrong, but, like, if you're going to kill L, do it right, and I think they did it right. And his final exchange with Light is just, like... You know, like, it's just... Also, Light Dad is a terrible detective. Yeah, Light's dad was kind of a crappy detective, wasn't he? I think it was more so, like, that father thing of, like, just not wanting to accept that Light, maybe Kira. But oh my god, so heartbreaking when he died, and he was like, I can see your thing, I can see that you're not Kira, and it was because Light was so smart, his memories weren't there. So he's like, I can die, know that you're not Kira, but Light actually is Kira, like, Like, there's just so much to deconstruct with Death Note. It's so good. So good. But Light is truly a genius. I really want to read the manga. We were visiting Ohio not too long ago for Christmas because a lot of my family is from Ohio. I have a lot of roots in Ohio. And we went to a Barnes & Noble, and they had a surprisingly large manga collection. There were a couple manga there that I was like, I want to buy them, but I can't because people would be like, "Why are you reading that?" Just because of assumptions. It's like people will look at a show like an anime or a manga specifically, and all they'll do is just look at the cover or like see like one specific aspect of it, and then they just focus on that one specific aspect and be like, I'm never watching that, I'm never reading that. And I'm like, just watch it and just give it the chance, and you'll see that it's actually really deep and very complex, not just fan service stuff. It really, really infuriates me when people just look at anime as fan service. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some anime up there like, I don't know, Sailor Moon or whatever, that are like nothing but fan service. But there's so many great animes that people don't watch because they think it's just going to be fan service, but it's not. It's not. Like killing the second girl was brutal. Oh yeah, that. And I love that they never found her body. You are talking about the dark-haired girl who he made commit suicide, and they never found her body. I love the ending of that episode, by the way, when she's walking, like, it suddenly, like, the power of the Death Note takes over her, and she's walking away. She's like, I have some business to deal with. And then the metaphorical imagery, it shows, like, her walking up a staircase to a noose. I was like, whoa! Like, that was the first ending of an episode in the show where I was like, oh my god. Like, they went there, And that's the other thing, too. Anime, it's just so ballsy compared to so many American shows. But you look at the greatest American shows of all time, like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, those shows are very ballsy, But a lot of the mainstream shows right now, they're just not, Also, the FBI agent's fiance was also brutal. No, the girl who was his girlfriend during his universe. Oh, that girl. And then now you're talking about the FBI agent's fiance. Yeah, very brutal stuff. Very brutal stuff. Light, his descent into madness was just so compelling to watch. My goodness. I think more anime needs to be more bloody and dark. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of the anime I've watched, some of my favorites are the anime that are very dark. Like Death Note, very dark, very violent. Erased, not so much as violent, though there is quite a bit of blood during certain scenes, but Erased is very dark. And, there's a couple other animes that also get very dark and very violent, and but it's not being dark and violent just for the sake of being dark and violent. Like, it actually lends to the story and it's plot relevant. That's kind of how I feel about fan service. As long as and I'm talking anime fan service. Like, not a nostalgia thing. You know what I mean when I say anime fan service. It's normally something sexual. If there is sexual content in an anime, as long as it's not for fan service and as long as it actually contributes to character development, because that is a very serious topic. People have just dumbed it down and made it seem like this cheap thing, but it can be, I know this is kind of weird for me to talk about. There's beauty to be found when you're using it in a storytelling perspective, and I just wish people wouldn't cheapen it so much. When it's relevant to the story and it actually is a very powerful character arc, then I'm all for it, Not that See, now I kind of regret saying that, because people are going to go back and watch this and be like, what? What? It's just, I think you get what I'm saying, though. It's, people misinterpret the fact that it can be an extremely powerful aspect of a character, an extremely powerful character arc. Something as serious as that. But moving on to more comfortable topics to talk about. I wonder who got the Death Note next. I wonder too. You think? I don't think it's any of the characters that we met in the show. I kind of like the idea of it just being some other person. But yeah. This has been a really good stream. I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it very much. Very long discussion on Death Note, but hey man, that's fine. I'm all here for it. I will talk about Death Note for the rest of my life. I do not care. I can't wait until I get more viewers on these streams. You know, I need to get some sponsorship or monetization, but I can't get monetized until I have like 1,000 subscribers or something. It's freaking crazy to me. Why am I holding the mug like that? Hold it like this, or with the pinky out. How does it go? Is it crap? What would I do with a Death Note? Well, I'm a really dark and screwed up child, so I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna answer that. Do you think Death Note should have been longer? No, I actually think it should have been a little bit shorter. I think, like, I know I said L died at a perfect point in the show, but that's also, referring to, like with the storyline that they went with, that was a perfect point in the show. But if they had gone with the storyline where L was going to die later, I think L would have died in the finale. Like, your idea of Light winning, I think, because I love the final episode, but I think another great idea for the final episode would have been if L had made it, and the final episode was a showdown between Light and L. L knows that Light is Kira, and he's using all his wits and his logic against Light, and Light is doing the same against him. And then, with the idea that Light wins, Light eventually successfully kills L. Or L busts Light, and Light is busted and thrown in prison. You know, but I do like the idea of Light winning. Or maybe they both die. You know? Because that would also be good. What anime should be made into a movie? Well, since we're talking about Death Note, I know Death Note was already made into a movie, but I think they should try it again. Because I love it because people need to recognize the importance of anime in American culture. You know, the film Akira, not Kira, Akira, from the 90s, or maybe it was the late 80s. That was the first, like, thing where, like, America really took note of anime and how great it can be. So, I think Fincher needs to direct a Death Note movie, and it should star Timothée Chalamet as Light and Robert Pattinson as L. That's what I think. Also, am I the only one who was surprised in the series finale of Death Note that it was a 6-year jump? I thought that show just took place over 1 year, but at the end it was like, no, 6 years ago you came across the Death Note. I was like, it's been 6 years? Which just further enhances the point that Light is such a genius, you know? Have I seen Akira? No, I have not seen Akira, but I did hear that Akira is being made into a live-action film. Please make it good. just please make it good. I can't think of a good American adaptation of an anime. I can think of American movies that are obviously very inspired by anime, but not necessarily an adaptation. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry I haven't seen Akira. Is it streaming anywhere? Because I really want to watch it. I'm looking it up right now. No, I typed in Alita. What the heck? Oh! Alita is based off a manga. There you go. But I'm looking up Akira. Now, what are the odds of that? What are the odds that my typo would be Alita? Now, where is it streaming? It's on Hulu for a premium subscription. We don't have a premium subscription. So you know what? I'm just going to buy the Blu-ray. Screw it. I don't care. I really want to start collecting manga and anime. Yeah, I'm going to start collecting manga, and then anime Blu-rays. And Akira, not only has it been released on Blu-ray, it was recently released on 4K. So, like, see, this is the thing with me. If I'm going to buy something on physical media, I'm going to try to get it in the highest resolution I can. So, like, for example, let me see. Thinking. 12 Angry Men. Incredible film. The highest resolution physical media release of this film is Blu-ray, though. And that's 1080p. Great resolution. But, like, the only reason I didn't get this in 4K is because it doesn't come in 4K. So the thing with Akira, I'm not going to buy the Blu-ray, I'm going to buy the 4K. You know? What's the worst movie adaptation of games or anime? Worst movie anime adaptation is Dragon Ball Evolution, without a doubt. Because that has no redeeming qualities. You know, the one redeeming quality about the Death Note movie was that it was visually cool to look at. Not all high-resolution movies are great like T2. Oh, yeah, the 4K of T2. I don't have it, but I know you watch John Flickinger. He's talked about that 4K of T2 so many times, and I've looked up images and YouTube videos of it, and yeah, it's just a terrible transfer. Everything is like, just, I don't know. It also doesn't feel like 4K. It feels like 720p in a way. I don't know. I kind of want to watch 12 Angry Men now just because I was holding it. Also, Hollywood, if you're going to remake a bunch of movies, now normally I say don't remake something, like don't fix something if it's not broken. 12 Angry Men is a perfect movie. Like, it's one of those few, like, perfect movie. Like, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But I actually have a pitch for a remake of this. Remake this film, have it be written by Aaron Sorkin, who wrote The Social Network. Yeah. Imagine that kind of dialogue and that kind of, like, rapid-fire, witty, fast-paced dialogue for a movie like 12 Angry Men. That would be amazing. And for the main star, for Juror 8, Henry Fonda's character, I don't know, don't cast Jesse Eisenberg. Please don't cast Jesse Eisenberg. But, I don't know who you would cast. But I think it would be a good remake, especially if Aaron Sorkin wrote it. Now, what's worse between those two, anime or games? Oh, you're talking about video game adaptations? Like, what's worse? Have we gotten more bad video game adaptations or more bad anime adaptations? I'm gonna say we've gotten more bad video game movie adaptations because there's more video game movie adaptations. So there's more crap. I guess we don't get as many movie anime adaptations. So even though both are pretty bad most of the time, I'd say the video game adaptations are gonna take the spot on that one just because there's more bad. Like, there's more of them, and they're all bad. Well, not all of them. Like, the Tomb Raider movie with Alicia Vikander is good, which, by the way, a sequel to that is coming out, which I'm so excited for. I really enjoyed Tomb Raider. I really loved this movie, actually. I think it was a very well-directed action film. Not a great movie, by any means, but, it was, I really liked it. I legitimately think, like, actually, from a critical perspective, I think it's a good movie. Tom Hanks, he would make a great person to go against in a small room. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what do you mean? Oh, you mean Tom Hanks for the 12 Angry Men? Yeah, Tom Hanks. Well, not the 12 Angry Men, just 12 Angry Men. Yeah, I could see Tom Hanks in that role. That would be really cool. I don't know if he could deliver Aaron Sorkin type dialogue though. He's a great actor. But yeah. Henry Fonda doesn't get talked about enough. Like, we talk about, like, Marilyn Monroe and John Wayne and Cary Grant. All these amazing actors. They are amazing actors, but why does no one talk about Henry Fonda when they talk about like the classic actors? Henry Fonda is amazing. I love Henry Fonda. His best performance is 12 Angry Men, but I love him. Every time I pick this up, I'm holding it weirdly. I prefer two fingers right there. Also, have you heard of Bryan Cranston's new show? It looks really interesting. Yeah, Bryan Cranston is in a new show called Your Honor, which I think that was also nominated for something with the Emmys. Crap, that's what I was thinking of. I read off all the Golden Globe nominations, but the Emmy nominations are also out. That was where Anya Taylor-Joy was nominated for Best Actress in The Queen's Gambit, and Bryan Cranston was nominated for Best Actor for Your Honor. And I really do want to see Your Honor. It's apparently Bryan Cranston is once again playing a dad who can't quite seem to keep things together. Oh, hey, Mr. Movie, what's up, man? 12 Angry Men is amazing. Grapes of Wrath is pretty good too. I haven't seen Grapes of Wrath, though I have heard of it. And yeah, 12 Angry Men, right beside Psycho, 12 Angry Men might be my favorite black and white movie of all time. It's always a battle between 12 Angry Men and Psycho, and interestingly, both deal with murder. It's funny, because 12 Angry Men isn't like a thriller, but it does feel very Hitchcockian. Yeah. And yeah, like all talk show hosts, I'm really embracing the talk show host thing now, where I'm like, this is a plain white mug, by the way. I should get like Xaybeast Live printed onto this mug, and it should be the mug I drink in my talk shows. And yes, it is coffee, by the way. You prefer Psycho? Psycho is just such a perfect movie. Where's my collection? I have the 5 Alfred Hitchcock essential films all on Blu-ray right here. We have Rear Window, Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho, and The Birds, which also just so happened to be my top 5 favorite Hitchcock films. Let's pull out Psycho. Where is it? There it is. Psycho. Still terrifying. This is such a great collection. Look at how many special features there are. Look at all that. That's great. And then obviously the movie itself is inside the... Let me find it. Yeah. There it is. Psycho. Looks great on Blu-ray too, by the way. And isn't there there's a Steelbook release of it now too. It was recently released on 4K Steelbook. And since I'm a collector completionist, I have to get that. I also need to rebuy all the Jurassic Park movies on Blu-ray. Because I got my Jurassic Park collection a while back, and a lot of them are scratched, and I can't even watch them now, which sucks, because I love the Jurassic Park movies. I can't believe he went from a dad from Malcolm in the Middle to a drug kingpin. Yeah, do you ever notice that, though? He always plays dads. Like, he was a dad in Malcolm in the Middle, dad in Breaking Bad, and now he's a dad in Your Honor. He's just really good at playing dads, I guess, of all different kinds. Yeah. A movie called The Longest Day is also with Henry Fonda, John Wayne, and many more. It is a fantastic movie. The Longest Day? I don't think I've heard of that. 1 second. Let me look that up. I love it when you guys recommend me movies, because I want to see, like, everything. So I'm going to look that up. See if it's available anywhere. 1962. It is a war film. 87%, 7.8 out of 10. Dang, this looks good. Alright. See, here's the thing. If it's only available on streaming services for money, I think I'm just going to buy the Blu-ray. Plus, I just prefer physical media. Streaming cannot stream in true 4K. When it says it's streaming in 4K, it's compressed 4K. It's not all-out 4K. I just got an actual, like, 4K Ultra HD physical media player, and it looks incredible. Incredible. It is, like, the best resolution I've ever seen, and apparently 8K exists now, too. Imagine how it's going to look when you have 8K physical media. He's a dad in Godzilla. Yeah, he was also a dad in the 2014 Godzilla. That film was surprisingly emotionally resonant. I love the 2014 Godzilla. I don't care what you guys say. I think a big part of it has to do, like, it's almost like the situation with Logan, where Logan is one of my favorite comic book movies because it just doesn't feel like a comic book movie. 2014 Godzilla is one of my favorite monster movies because it doesn't feel like your stereotypical monster movie. You know, like Godzilla King of the Monsters is your stereotypical monster movie. But Godzilla 2014 has surprising emotional depth. The opening 10 minutes of Godzilla 2014 are the opening 10 minutes, not the whole movie, but the opening 10 minutes are like A+ material. I actually cried the first time I watched it. Are you Team Godzilla or Team Kong? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Are we about to get into a debate now? Yeah. Here we go. I don't think either of them are going to win. I think they're going to team up to fight some bigger threat because that's what all these movies do. But, I am Team Godzilla. I am Team Godzilla. Or, Japanese, it would be, Godzilla? Or Gojira, or something like that. No! 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 Okay. Give me a second. Because I've actually found a really good thing about this. Alright. Godzilla. Literally a giant plasma-breathing radioactive thermonuclear bomb lizard. King Kong? Monkey. Monkey. He's a monkey. Crap. I rest my case. I'm Team Godzilla. And it has nothing to do with the movies, you know? Because an invalid excuse would be, well, Kong has better movies, which he doesn't, by the way. But, like, it's not about the movies. It's not about the movies. It's about the monsters. I'm on Team Godzilla. Now, I completely understand why people are on Team Kong, because maybe he can maneuver himself a little bit better, and he has legit fists and everything. But I'm Team Godzilla. King Kong gonna clap those cheeks. I don't know what to make of that. I think Godzilla will die, but there is a different Godzilla, because in most other incarnations of Godzilla, there has always been two. Yeah, that's true. I just hope they don't do that, though. And if Godzilla dies, like, since I'm Team Godzilla, just make it pay off. Like, don't make it an obvious win. Make it come very, very close. Or maybe they both die. You know? Godzilla isn't gonna die. I hope he doesn't die. Here's the thing. If he dies in a terrible way, I'm gonna be very upset. Because I love Godzilla. But, like, if they actually handle it well, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's a good send-off for that character. And I consider Godzilla a character. I don't consider him just this massive, monster. I think I refer to him as a character. I know, I'm pretentious, whatever. Say what you want. I'm Team Godzilla. I don't care. Ooh, you know what would be cool? All those monsters in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Imagine if, like, Kong gets a bunch of monsters from Skull Island to be on his side. And then Godzilla gets a bunch of monsters from the mainland to be on his side. And then it's not just Kong v Godzilla. It's like a Kong army versus a Godzilla army. You know, not multiple Godzillas, but like the Mutos and Mothra. You know, all those monsters would be on Godzilla's side. Because if you haven't seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, spoilers, it ends with all of them bowing down to him. So what if Godzilla has all those monsters from King of the Monsters on his side? Because he is now the King of the Monsters. Now there's a great idea, Hollywood. I actually kind of hope that happens. King Kong and Godzilla are going to need to fuse into Kongzilla. That's amazing. Kaiju. Oh yeah. I'm surprised they didn't fuse Pacific Rim with this. I enjoy the Pacific Rim movies, just as, you know, monster movie fluff. I enjoyed them. I planned for this stream to be only an hour long, but you guys are killing it with the questions, so please, I have all the time in the world. I don't have anywhere to be. Keep them coming. Caesar from Planet of the Apes versus Kong. If Caesar got all of the other apes on his side, I think that might be a fair fight against Kong. But if it's just Caesar alone against Kong, nah. Kong's winning. He just need to pinch him. He just like reaches down and pinches him and Caesar's gone. Pacific Rim needs to be an anime. Oh, did you I don't know what that I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. Yes, Pacific Rim would be an amazing anime. That would be a great anime. My goodness, I would binge the heck out of that. Pacific Rim, the first one, looks something new and doesn't get enough credit for it. Yeah, the first Pacific Rim movie is actually, like, good. Like, I enjoyed it. I really did. I have it on good old DVD. I need to get it on Blu-ray. Or 4K if it's out on 4K. Yeah, it doesn't get enough credit for it. That was a really, refreshing monster movie. Mr. Movie says bye. I have to go now. We'll see you later, man. Oh, crap. I haven't been displaying your guys' questions on the screen. Because I can do that. See, there's your question, Nostalgic. Here, I'll do it now. And it's easier to read, too. I don't have to lean in to read the tiny chat. Nostalgic says, I think a combination of those two universes would be awesome. How now humans have a way to fight the kaijus. Yes, humans do now have a way to fight the kaijus. Bring in the... Oh, crap. Crap, what are the giant robots in Pacific Rim called? Why am I forgetting? It's... Kaijus are the monsters, and then... Crap, why am I forgetting? I'm actually kind of a fan of Pacific Rim. Why am I forgetting? I do think a combination of those universes would be great, though. Jaegers, right. They're called Jaegers. Yeah, Jaegers and Kaijus mixed with Godzilla v. Kong. That would be great. That would be so great. Man. So many great... I mean, but at the same time, I'm like, why does everything have to be a universe now? Like, this is why indie cinema needs more appreciation, because everyone's like, what happened to, like, when we used to get just great standalone movies? You know, like, the 70s killed it, like Jaws. Standalone... I know it got sequels, but I like to act that those don't exist. Jaws, great standalone movie. Like, just back when things didn't have to be a universe, you know? And indie cinema is dominating. Like, people who ask, like, where is, all the great, One second. People who ask, where are all the great standalone movies? They're there. Just look to indie cinema. Look at all the stuff that was nominated with the Golden Globes. Promising Young Woman. Pieces of a Woman. Sound of Metal, which I just watched yesterday, and I really, really want to review, because it was amazing. Like, there's a lot of really great standalone films. It's like, stop asking where they are, and actually start looking for them, you know? Jaws versus King Kong. Kong would win in an instant. Now, I love Jaws. You know, it's not about the quality of the film, it's about the ability of the monsters. Prisoner, yeah. Look at Denis Villeneuve. Look, when I think of, like, the greats, like, you know, like in the 70s you had Spielberg and Scorsese, and then Tarantino came into his own in the 90s and early 2000s. When I think of, like, the directors that we have currently that are going to be viewed as the Tarantinos and the Scorseses of this generation, I think of Denis Villeneuve. I think of David Fincher, you know? I mean, I even think of, Jean-Claude Serra. You know, like, I think of a lot of these people. Denis Villeneuve has never made a bad movie. Prisoners, Sicario, Insandi, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049. All of his movies are like masterpieces. Masterpieces. Denis Villeneuve is like, man, I'm so excited for Dune. Prisoners, Arrival, Annihilation. Yes, he also did Annihilation. All great movies. It sucks that Knives Out is now a universe. What? Is Knives Out a universe now? Why? Why must they take everything and make it a universe? You have gold. Don't turn it into bronze, please. I mean, I don't want to be like pessimistic. I don't want to be like pessimistic or anything, but like I'm open. You know, if a Knives Out universe is good, then great. But like, why does everything have to be universe now? You look at all the greatest movies of our generation, and hardly any of them are part of a bigger universe, you know? It's getting a sequel. Do you have the Steelbook of Knives Out? I do not have the Steelbook of Knives Out. That is something I need to get, but I love the Steelbook artwork. I really do. I need to get more Steelbooks in general. The only Steelbook I have is, To Kill a Mockingbird, which is also one of my favorite black and white films. It's funny, you wouldn't expect that to be the only Steelbook I have. I need to get more Steelbooks. Knives Out was so good. Like, finally, an original whodunit. You know, we haven't had that in a very long time, and Knives Out was just so refreshing in that regard. Such a great movie. I didn't love it as much as, like, some people. Like, some people are like, this is one of the best movies ever made. I'm like, I don't know about that, but it's, amazing, phenomenal movie. But one of the best movies ever made? I don't know. It was just refreshing to have an original whodunit, you know? And it made me want to write an original whodunit. And I have this idea for a whodunit that I've been pitching for the better part of a year now. And by pitching, I mean, you know, just to myself in my room at 1 a.m. in the morning. But I'm not going to say it because I don't want anyone to come and watch the stream and steal it, you know? But I think it could be really good. And, I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but, like, it's a concept that's actually never been done in a whodunit form. Like, the concept itself has been done in other genres, but never in a whodunit. So yeah, it's not like my dream movie, but it's just a movie I would really love to make. I think it would be a good directorial debut for myself, like when I actually get out there and start doing stuff. What are your feelings towards baby fetus lasagna? What? I have no idea what that is. Where's my phone? Crap, it's still down there from when I dropped it. Give me a second. Ugh. Baby fetus lasagna. I don't know. There's a shift in direction. Anyway. It's in the name. I'm clueless. I apologize that I cannot give a satisfying response to your question. Nostalgic, are you still here? I mean, it's probably about time that I end the stream anyway. We've been going for almost 2 hours now, and I do have a review to film. Not that I'm rushing myself, but like, you know, things to do. Yeah, I think that was a really good stream. That was a really good episode of Xaybeast Live. Oh, crap! I just realized I didn't have my LEDs on for the majority of the stream. Well, they're not plugged in anyway. Dang it. What's a movie that would make a great game? A movie that would make a great game. Ooh. Maze Runner would make a great game. I know there's like a mobile temple run type Maze Runner game, but I mean like a legit like PS5 amazing graphics, great storyline Maze Runner game. Like an open world. My God, could you imagine an open world Scorch Trials game? Like in the Scorch, Maze Runner Scorch Trials in the Scorch. That would be incredible. Oh, that would be so much fun. I think a Knives Out Telltale game. Oh, yeah, Telltale would be amazing. If you haven't played the Telltale Walking Dead game, it's phenomenal. You are missing out. You need to play it. Better than some of the stuff in the actual show, in my opinion. Even though I love the show, The Walking Dead. Or Blade Runner. Yes, could you imagine an open world game with Blade Runner? I imagine it would be kind of like a cyberpunk type thing, but better. There's my thoughts on cyberpunk. Season 1 with Lee. I mean, I don't want to like get too much into it, you know, just in case anyone's watching this who hasn't played it. Do you want to go to the 2 hours? There's 11 minutes until 2 hours. Nostalgic, it looks like it's just you and me right now. You want to go to the 2 hours? You want to see if we can do it? Are you excited for The Walking Dead Season 10C? I am, though I'm still getting through Season 9 right now. Which I'm really happy they've gotten back to greatness. I'm so happy. And here's the thing, I didn't even hate Season 7 and 8. I hated certain aspects of Season 7 and 8. It didn't feel like the plot was progressing too much. I was just like, just move the plot along. This is kind of boring. The main problem with Season 7 and 8 was the pacing. But what saved it for me was Jeffrey Dean Morgan's phenomenal, honestly Emmy-worthy performance as Negan. And then obviously, you know, our OG cast of characters. But Season 9, it was, because there were so many changes behind and in front of the camera. They got new writers, and it was Season 9, because Season 8, a lot of people were very disappointed. And then Season 9 came along, and it was like, nope, we are going back to greatness, people. And yeah, it's really brought it back to greatness. Yeah. It's a new showrunner, so it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, and also I haven't started Season 10 yet. I still need to finish Season 9. But I do need to get through Seasons 9 and 10, because I want to watch Season 11 as it airs, to get that weekly experience, because it's the final season. Like, the final season to this enormous show that's been such a phenomenon for so long. It's a shame it lost so many viewers. My favorite snack is a... Stop commenting things like that, please. I'm sorry I have to do this. Alright. The horror's kind of back. Yeah, my God, the Whisperers? The Whisperers are terrifying. You know? Like, I understand a big thing with post-apocalyptic things. It's like, yeah, the zombies are scary, but the humans can be even scarier. And yeah, that's great. You know, Walking Dead excels in that regard, but like... that doesn't mean you need to, you know, only, like, that doesn't mean you need to make the zombies less scary. And I know the Whisperers aren't zombies, but, like, that's just such a disturbing idea, you know? But it's so great. Like, the idea of these people who skin walkers and wear the skin to blend in. Ugh! Like, that's just so creepy and disturbing, but it's great. It's so great. Season 11 is... yes, it is. It's coming out in November. November! Wow, I gotta get on my game of this year. The actress who plays Alpha needs more roles. She's like a little Sarah Paulson. Yeah. Sarah Paulson is also amazing. And yeah, the lady who plays Alpha, she's amazing. She's great. Yeah, she does need more roles. You know, it's a shame that The Walking Dead isn't being nominated for anything, because I know it got a little crappy in Season 7 and 8, but seriously, not enough people are talking about how great it is again with Seasons 9 and 10. It's actually, like, legitimately great now. So, like, some of, if not the best Walking Dead content ever. And I'm really excited for the Walking Dead movies they're going to be making. Season 10C is coming out this month or next month? Because of COVID, they decided to add 6 extra episodes to Season 10. Okay, at least as long as they don't drag it out too much, like as long as the pacing is still um well handled. But yeah. I will say Walking Dead was great up until season 7 and 8, but unpopular opinion, I still think season 7 and 8 were good. And actually, the season 7 premiere, like the first episode of season 7, is actually one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. And I know a certain thing happens to a beloved character in the season 7 premiere, and it was extremely gory and extremely graphic and extremely disturbing, but it was great. And my favorite episode of season 7 is actually episode 2, because that's when Rick and Negan are out in the RV and all that fog surrounded by the walkers and everything. That was also great. Who would you say is the best actor in The Walking Dead? Man, there's so many good ones. I mean, Andrew Lincoln is obviously amazing, but he's not in The Walking Dead anymore. So, with the people we still have, I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. She's such a great actress. Whoever plays Maggie, and obviously Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as Negan, is always great. I also hear... Oh, and Norman Reedus is Daryl Dixon. I also hear that one episode will be a Negan backstory episode from the comics. Ooh, that's great. They did a backstory episode with Morgan, and I thought that was a really good episode. So yeah, Walking Dead is good with backstory episodes. They are. That's the only great episode from season 7. Are you talking about the episode I was talking about? Favorite episode for me has to be season 4, episode 8, Too Far Gone. Yes! Oh my god. That was such a great episode. You just brought it back to memory, but like, I recognize that title and I know things that happened in that episode. It was so great. I think that episode made The Walking Dead popular. I mean, I think the pilot episode of season 1 of The Walking Dead is still that was the most viewed pilot episode of a show ever, or at least on the AMC network. So I think it was popular, but I think that episode is when people were like, this isn't just fun zombie gory post-apocalyptic stuff. This is a legitimately deep, emotionally challenging show, and I think season 4 episode 8 really brought that out and just boosted the popularity even more. Andrew Lincoln absolutely delivered in that episode. Yeah, he did. Andrew Lincoln is such a good actor. What's my favorite season? My favorite season of The Walking Dead. I love season 3. I think season 3 is great. Like, I will say I think maybe they were at the prison for a little bit too long, but I think the character work in season 3 is amazing, and oh my god, the thing Carl has to do with, Lori, and then Andrew Lincoln's reaction when he just goes, no, but like his performance is so good! Man, season 3 was so great. I'm actually rewatching it's kind of funny because I'm not done with season 7, but I felt the urge to go back and rewatch the show, so I'm rewatching the show right now, but I'm also catching up on season 9 at the same time. Mine's probably season 5. Yeah, season 5 was the highest rated season of The Walking Dead when it came out. Now seasons 9 and 10 are the highest rated seasons of the entire show. Yeah, season 5 was great. The Terminus stuff and the Alexander stuff was tense. Yeah, my goodness. I love the Alexander stuff. And I like they've been at Alexander for a while. But it doesn't feel dragged out. Like, they were at the prison for a shorter amount of time, but that felt a little more dragged out. The Alexander stuff really flowed well for me. And you know who I think is a very underrated character in The Walking Dead lore? Enid. I think Enid is a very underrated character. That actress is phenomenal. And I really liked the relationship they were building between her and Carl, but then of course, Carl. My god. Carl. He's one of the OGs. Carl is a legend. I love Carl. Man, I really wish their relationship could have grown. One thing I don't like that they're doing with Enid, though, is her relationship with that guy. Like that other guy that you don't really care about too much. I'm like, what? I think it would have been more powerful if she was like, almost like in a Star is Born type thing where it's like, I'll never love again. That type of that type of thing. Did you know they made the actor of Carl eat an entire can of pudding in season 4? I do remember that scene where he was sitting on top of the roof and he was just eating pudding. Also, the first half of season 6. Do you think killing Carl was a mistake? I don't think it was a mistake. I think as a character beat for Michonne and Rick, I think it was extremely powerful. But I think they killed him off a little too soon. I'm fine with them deviating from the comics. I really am, because if they didn't, it would just it wouldn't be any intrigue, because you would just know what's gonna happen. So I do like that they're changing things from the comics, but I think certain changes are a little much. I think they killed Carl because of contract issues. He's supposed to be in the future. Oh, sorry, I had to comprehend for a second. Yeah, okay. Well, in that case, then I actually like how they killed him off even more, because, normally when a character has to be killed off because of contract issues behind the scenes, they kind of do it very lazily. It's like, well, let's just get it out of the way. But no, I think they handled Carl's death very well. They're like, well, if we're gonna have to kill him off, let's at least do it right. And I think they did it right for the most part. I kind of want to say Carl is an underrated character, to be completely honest with you. Because of him turning 18, they would have to pay him like an adult, but AMC didn't want to pay. AMC they have the money. They can pay the guy, They can pay him. But, whatever. It's a stupid reason to... that's such stupid reasoning. But the actual execution of the character's death in the show, I thought was executed very well. Also, one of the most underrated arcs in The Walking Dead. Daryl's arc with Beth. Do you remember Beth? She was actually one of my favorite characters when she was actually in the show. That episode where it was just Daryl and Beth in that rundown shack. That was amazing. That's one of the most underrated episodes ever. And that's when Daryl really became, a favorite for me. I already loved him because he was just awesome. He had the crossbow and everything and that gravelly voice. But, it wasn't until that episode between him and Beth and the relationship there, and then, Beth's eventual death and how that really tore him apart, where I was like, dude, Daryl is, top tier right now. Least favorite character in The Walking Dead? I think mine is Eugene. Yeah, Eugene is kind of a crappy character. I like... I just remembered a meme that I saw where it showed a thing of Rick, and Rick talks very proper. So Rick says, well, not very proper, but just normal. So it said, it was a meme showing how each of the characters would express that they can't do something. So Rick would say, I can't do it. And then it showed a picture of Abraham, and it says, it was I ain't doing that, or something. And then it showed a picture of Eugene, and it says, I do not currently possess the ability to can. That was hilarious. I mean, obviously it doesn't make the character any better. I don't hate the character, but whenever they cut back to him, I'm like, okay, we can get away from that. The actor literally got real life death threats. Really? Well, I think that's a little extreme. And what is it with that? I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead, but how can someone be so invested in something that they actually give death threats to an actor because they don't like the character? That happened with The Last of Us Part 2. The girl who played Abby got death threats. Yeah, but then, it was a slap in the face to all those people when that girl won the Game Award, the annual Game Award for Best Vocal Performance. If you were watching the show as it was airing, you don't know how big of a deal Morales was. Morales? I mean, it happens to... Right, that's what I was just saying about Abby, yeah. Yeah, you do get a different perspective when you binge a show. Because there's a difference between watching a show, a new episode every week for, years. But when you actually binge through a show, it's easier to recognize like what story beats were executed good and which story beats were executed poorly. Like I noticed that with Breaking Bad. Right now as I'm binging Breaking Bad, it's like it's a really like non-stop show. Like, you know, like in each episode, a huge spoiler-worthy moment happens, if not multiple in every single episode. Literally a character from season 1 for like 3 episodes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, I almost completely like forgot about that character. We are past the 2-hour mark. I mean, if you keep it coming with the questions, like I said, I have nowhere to be right now. But if we run out of things to talk about, I will not stop the stream until we run out of things to talk about. I'll say that. You know what? I'm going to plug in my LEDs. Screw it. I just keep looking at myself in the viewfinder. I'm like, there needs to be some color. Alright. Let's get them turned on. What color do you want? Yeah, it's easier to binge watch shows, but it takes away from waiting a week or months for cliffhanger. Yeah. Sorry, I'll give more of a response in a second. Let me turn these on. What color do you want? Let's see. I like the green. It fits the banners on my screen. Like I could binge watch The Walking Dead. Whoop. Oh yeah, I need to put these on the screen. Like I could binge watch The Walking Dead season 6 finale and season 7 premiere back to back. It was terrible because I want to feel the anticipation of what's going to happen. Yeah, the best way to watch the worst seasons of The Walking Dead, just binge right through them. It makes the pacing feel better. Oh, you want blue? Okay. 1 second. I gotta put this back up. There we go. Let's turn it to blue. There we go. We got blue. Yeah. I will say the season 7 premiere was fantastic. Like I loved it. I was like, that is a really strong start to season 7. The Walking Dead is great with season premieres and season finales. Yeah. Like even in the worst seasons of The Walking Dead, the season premieres and the season finales are still amazing. I'll get to your stuff in a second. I love the episode. I think it was in season 8 or season 7. I don't remember. It was just Rick and Negan, and it was a standoff, and they were in that abandoned, like, rundown building, and there were walkers, and Rick had Lucille, the bat, not the character, the bat, and him and Negan were like yelling to each other, trying to hunt each other down. It was a very cat and mouse type sequence, and I loved it. If you watch Flash season 1, it was a bunch of emojis. It was great. Yeah, I have not watched The Flash yet. I need to catch up on all the CW shows. I really do. Daredevil. Why aren't people talking more about Daredevil? And also, speaking of which, while we're on it, Gotham. Gotham is an amazing show. Not enough people talk about that show. You think the best season 1 of any show? Wow. Flash season 1, the best season 1 of any show? I'm going to have to watch it now. I mean, I already planned on watching it, but when someone says something like that, I'm like, okay, I got to check it out. Because of me waiting week after week and seeing what happens. Yeah, that week after week experience does enhance it. Season 8, after Carl died, Charlie Cox needs more attention. Watch it now. Right now, you want me to pull up Netflix on stream, share it, and watch The Flash? Do you want me to do that? Ooh, that'd be cool if I did live stream reactions to big shows that I haven't seen. All the actors do a great job. I've heard it's great, man, and I do gotta watch it. But there's just so many shows right now that I'm watching, and every time I start another one, it just adds to the pile. You know, I kind of flunked out on Lost. Like I reviewed the first 2 seasons of Lost, and I was like, my review of season 3 will be coming soon, and I haven't even started watching season 3 yet. Thankfully, the season 2 finale of Lost was amazing and very memorable, so I don't have to go back and rewatch it to catch up. It's not that I'm giving up on Lost. There's just so many other shows that I started watching and that people wanted me to review, but I am going to finish reviewing all of Lost at some point. Even if it's after I graduate high school, which is actually only 2 years from now. This is a really good episode. Am I the only one who feels like there's a little bit too much headspace up here? Like, I feel like there should be a little bit less. Or maybe the camera should be higher. I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me angle it down a little more. Is that better? I think that's better. How about this? How about this? I will end this stream when my coffee is gone. There's not much left. So when my coffee is gone, that's when we're ending the stream. Nope. Crap, now I need to remember what I said. What are you saying nope to? What do you think is the best season of a show so far? The best season of any show? Ugh. Man, that's really hard. That's what she said. Seasons 3 and 4 of The Office are phenomenal. But I think I prefer season 3. But I don't know if I would say that's the best season of a show ever. Man, that's really hard to choose. Man, I'm watching so many shows and it's just like, I don't know. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if I can answer that question. Breaking Bad Season 5 was pretty good. Pretty good, dude. Breaking Bad Season 5 was phenomenal. Like, perfect finale. Breaking Bad is just the perfect show. I don't really care for the character of Ted too much, though. Ted Beneke. Though the ending of Crawl Space in Season 4, the ending of that episode where he's like, you gave it to Beneke? And then he's just sitting there and the camera's panning up from the crawl space opening. He's just laughing. That was great. Have you seen the deleted scene from The Office with the Matrix? No, I have not. I was not aware of that, no. I mean, I have to look that up now, though. Silence. Oh, well, I guess something else I could, It's hilarious. What's the best streaming platform right now? Best streaming platform? I mean, look. I know a lot of people diss Netflix, but, like, there is a lot of great stuff on Netflix. There's even some great Netflix originals. Some of the Netflix original anime right now are amazing. Amazing. Seriously. Like, so much better than they get credit for. But Hulu is pretty good. Though, my one problem with Hulu, and this is a very nerdy and cinephile type thing to say, so prepare yourself, because most people probably don't care. When you go to watch a movie on Hulu, a lot of times, not all the time, but you know how movies... Man, this is such a nerdy side of my brain. You know how movies are shown in widescreen format? Like you have the two black bars. You know, it's that widescreen aspect ratio. On Hulu, a lot of those movies are made to full screen, and so it cuts off, like, a very large portion of both sides of it. And it kind of ruins the whole point of cinematography. And I just hate it when streaming services do that. Like, just stream it in the original widescreen, and you'll actually be able to see everything, you know? I hate it when they make it zoom in. HBO Max is really good. Their plan for 2021, like, having all their movies be on streaming, but also available to be seen in theaters, that's great. Hulu has the best anime collection. Don't at me. Oh yeah, no. Hulu has an amazing anime collection. I just finished watching Cowboy Bebop. Amazing. That's like a classic anime though. I will say though, I do think Cowboy Bebop. Man, don't at me. Don't at me. Cowboy Bebop was great as an anime, like as an action thriller type anime. It's great, but I do think it's just like a tad bit overrated. Don't shoot. Just a tad bit. My favorite moment out of all of Cowboy Bebop was actually in like the first episode when that lady kills herself when they're in the ship and it's going up and she kills herself. Like that is great. Is it good, dub or... Oh, you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop. Is it good, dub or sub? The Cowboy Bebop is one of the few animes where the English dub... Cowboy Bebop is one of the few animes where the English dub is actually better than the original Japanese voice actors. That's, like, so rare. It's more common for an English dub to be just as good as the Japanese voice actors. But no, Cowboy Bebop is really good. Though I think it'll take you a few episodes to fully get into it. I love the Mach character. I don't know what to watch after Death Note. Either Promised Neverland or other shows. I haven't watched Promised Neverland yet. Haven't watched... Oh, have you seen Psyche K? Watch The Disastrous Life of Psyche K on Netflix. Not Psyche K... Reawakened. Not that show. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying that's the sequel show. Watch the one that's called The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. It's a comedy anime, and it's hilarious. And watch the English dub. The English dub is very good. That guy's delivery is comedic gold. I would also suggest Violet Evergarden, which is also on Netflix. That's very good. Only one season, but it's great. Fairy Tail is supposed to be good. Have you seen Erased? Now, Netflix did a live-action television show adaptation of the anime Erased. Don't watch that. Watch the anime Erased on Netflix. It's only 12 episodes long. Each episode is only like 20-25 minutes. That's amazing. That's one of those bingeable shows. You can binge that in one night, and it's such an emotionally powerful experience. It's gotten to the point where there's so little coffee in here that the coffee mug is actually hitting my glasses when I take a sip. Yeah. Have I seen Assassination Classroom? Also One Punch Man. I have not seen Assassination Classroom, and I have not seen One Punch Man. I'm sorry. Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to my taste in anime, and I think this probably comes from some of the first few anime that I watched that made me realize how great it could be. I prefer the very psychologically complex and dark anime. I prefer that a little bit more towards some of the just, action anime. Like, Dragon Ball Z is, like, good, goofy fun. But, like, the anime that really stick with me are animes like Death Note. Or Erased. Or Violet Evergarden, Not Violet Evergarden as much, though that is a great show. But Death Note and Erased, like, those are the ones that really stick with me. So yeah. Watch only season 1 of One Punch Man. Don't watch season 2. Okay. What's up with One Piece? One Piece is on, like, the 600th something episode, and the manga is on, like, chapter 1000. It's crazy. Is One Piece good? Because I need to know. Like, if it's just, like, enjoyable, then I'm not gonna devote all my time to 9 seasons of a show if it's just enjoyable. But if it's legitimately great, then I'm like, okay, I'll devote that much time to watching One Piece. One of my favorite AniTubers, for those of you who are noobs, an AniTuber, YouTuber who mainly talks about anime. I do want to shout out some of my favorite anime AniTubers. Ratchet Noble Wolf is really good. JoJo Talks Too Much is phenomenal. Semblance of Sanity is great. And then Roger's Base. Roger's Base is good too. You haven't watched it? Okay. Remember very little when it aired on Cartoon Network during Toonami. Naruto is also good. Oh, I love Naruto. Naruto is one of those action anime that I can actually get into because the characters are actually really intriguing. Oh, Hunter x Hunter too. Hunter x Hunter is good. Well, Hunter x Hunter, not Hunter. Anyway. Speaking of Hunter x Hunter, not the anime. Well, I just talked about the anime, but there's actually a movie that came out in 2020 just called Hunter x Hunter. Not Hunter x Hunter, just Hunter x Hunter. Haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's supposed to have one of the best endings of the year, and so I'm curious to check that out. Skip the filler and you will save time. DBZ is better than Naruto? I could see that. I feel like Naruto did have a lot of missteps, but I don't know. DBZ just isn't really like my thing, but I guess I must be big of a fan of DBZ enough, because if I wasn't that big of a fan of DBZ, then I wouldn't hate Evolution as much as I do. So I will say I am a fan of Dragon Ball Evolution. That's just an anime that I can go to and just kick back and chill and just have a ton of fun, I was gonna watch all of Naruto, but COVID ruined everything. Wouldn't COVID give you more of a reason to watch all of Naruto, though? Because you're, cooped up in the house. That's when I watched it. 2 hours and 20 minutes, wow. Wait, is this the longest stream I've done? I think this is the longest episode of Xaybeast Live I've ever done. You've been great. See, I consistently, I'm thinking, maybe I should end the stream. It's getting kind of long, but, we're having a very good discussion here. And I enjoy it. I enjoy having discussions. It kind of fills in the void because I'm home alone right now, so no one to talk to. So it's cool that I can just hop on here and talk to you guys. It's great. Better than live streaming on Instagram. There we go. Yeah. If you want to read manga, probably the school library has some. Yours does? Whoa! That's cool that your library has manga. That's amazing. I can tell you right off the bat, my school library is not going to have manga. I don't want to reveal where I live, but let's just say the region of the U.S. I live in is very, traditional, and I'm not from this region. I'm actually from, west. I was born in Colorado, and I've spent a lot of time up north. My family is in no way part of this region, but, just because of that, it's a very traditional type place that I can guarantee they are not going to have manga at the school library. My high school has Hunter x Hunter, DB, Naruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, and more. That's amazing. See, that's great. I think it's great when schools do that, but my school, nah, man. Extremely traditional. Though, since I am in theater, I've made a lot of very good friends in the theater program there who are also very into anime and manga and things like that, which is great. And it's funny how that all, comes together. It's obviously I joined theater because, I want to be a film director. I'm really into acting and movie directing and storytelling and performing arts and just all that stuff. I'm an artist. and that's like the main reason for joining theater. But another reason I make it a priority to take some kind of theater class is because I know that's where I'm going to find my people. Like, that's where I'm going to find, the nerds. That's where I'm going to, and I mean that as a compliment. I mean nerd, when I call someone a nerd, it's a compliment. That's where I'm going to find the people who geek out over anime. That's where I'm going to find the people who really, really want to start reading manga and really want to, like, buy and collect manga. That's where I'm going to find those people. So that's another reason why I make it such a priority. You should make your theater class act Death Note. That would be amazing! That's the thing with theater classes. Like, the teachers are so open. Like, I guarantee you, if I went to my theater teacher with, like, a short film script that I wrote, he would be like, cool, yeah, let's round up some actors and let's make it. Like, my theater teacher is amazing. Shout out to you, Mr. Permenter. You be light, and as a prank, do it on the principal. Oh, man. I would love to play Light. I would love to play that character. I want to get the Death Note. Like, it's an actual, like, memorabilia of the show. You can buy, like, the Death Note notebook and everything. I want to buy that. I want to make, like, a Death Note fan film, Because I'm such a fan. I took theater for 3 weeks. Max switched out because it's too cringe. Too cringe? What do you mean? Like, were people not taking it seriously, or were just none of the kids really into it? Do I have COVID? Oh, crap. What is happening? I must have COVID. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. I apologize. I'm back! Alright. Sorry about that. Please don't leave. I think many people in theater class don't care a lot and just there because they need some credit. That's why you left. Oh, that sucks, dude. See, the theater classes I've taken, everyone is very passionate and they're not just there to get credits. Man, it sucks that you had that experience. Man. Yeah, that does suck. And it just goes to show, like, the lack of appreciation for the performing arts, when it comes to high school students. It's not appreciated enough. I actually just went and saw, a play last night, with one of my friends. Me and her went, to see it at the school, in the auditorium. It was an actual production. Now, it wasn't like a 3 to 4 hour full-on play. It was like a 45-minute thriller about a witch, and it was actually really cool. We had a great time. It was great. I love the idea of theater. Like, obviously I'm going into film, but, like, there's just this authenticity to theater that I really like. And that's why I think that theater and stage performances, like stage performing, has never gone out of style. Because people love they love authenticity. They love sitting there and actually, like, seeing the people physically in front of you doing it. And also there's no take two with theater. That's the saying. In movies, you can do as many takes as you need. One of my classes made me make a commercial for the class for new students, and my idea was to make a spoof of the Avengers Endgame trailer, but I was absent and just got the X. Oh, really? That dang. That's a really good idea, though. That's a good idea. Theater is art and needs to be taken seriously in schools. Yet, thank you. I can vibe with you, yeah. Theater needs to be taken much more seriously. It really does. It's such a shame that people don't take it seriously. Take it seriously. It's like how school treats band and chorus. Yeah, there's just not enough appreciation there. There's so many talented students in band and choir, I think is what you meant. Um, and there's just not enough appreciation. Sorry to cut the gun, man, but I gotta go. It's been a really good stream and good chat. Yeah, thanks, man. I was actually about to end the stream anyway. But thank you for being so persistent with your questions. You've made this is the longest episode of Xaybeast Live ever, and I hope it never got boring. We had a really good discussion. And I'm not ending the stream just because you're leaving. I was already planning on ending the stream because we're pushing an hour and 2.5 hours now. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been episode 10 of Xaybeast Live. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Look forward to my review of Sound of Metal. Look forward to my review of a lot of the movies that are going to be big come awards season. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep writing, keep shooting, and keep editing.